The hounds have gone to have a sniff around the local kindergarten. Sometimes there's kids there who pat them. Angus is ignoring the ball. Look, no. No. Not interested. Nice day for hounds. In the bag is some paracetamol and some bones and some face masks, which they were giving away at the pharmacy. I think they call paracetamol something else overseas. Acetaminophen. Here we call it paracetamol. The local brand is called Panadol. We have ibuprofen, which is so bad for you, it's not funny, but very effective. Pretty safe to use for a short time. I'm sure I've seen it called Tylenol, and we call it Nurofen. You having a good roll there, Mo? Tell anyone that'll listen not to take non-steroidal anti-inflammatories for any length of time. Your kidneys hate it, and so does the lining of your gastrointestinal system. Trouble with a drug like that is it's so effective for mild to moderate pain. It's very tempting to just keep taking it, especially when you've got to go to work. But there you have it. Who wants to live forever anyway? Hounds are getting a bit tired. It's insanely humid. Aaron Jr. and I are sweating like no tomorrow. Now that we've got our freezer working again, it's completely empty. So we bought the dogs a couple of packs of bones, thanks to some very kind donators. There's so much silt and rubbish around. They're encouraging people to get the Bush-Strix vaccine. Can't remember exactly what it has, but part of it is tetanus. Pretty important, you don't want to be getting tetanus. Nasty business. I've never seen it acutely. Thankfully we don't have malaria in New Zealand. There's a fair old few mosquitoes floating around. Did see a patient once with malaria, but once again it wasn't that acute. And we transported them to the hospital. They weren't that sick. They'd come from somewhere really interesting, and I can't recall where it was. They had a really interesting story about where they'd been and how they'd picked it up. It was a lady from somewhere in Africa. We had a really interesting conversation. Incidentally, she also had HIV, but they'd treated it to such a degree. I'm sure she said it was undetectable, or her viral load was so low that it effectively had no impact on her life day to day. Time to get these hounds home. They're a bit hot and a bit tired. They definitely deserve an ice cold brisket bone. We call them bones, it's just cartilage, but the hounds like it when we say it's bones. We do let them chew on big raw cannon bones, very occasionally, but only while they're supervised. A bit leery about bones. I hear some Horrible stories. Stories about gastro blockages and choking make me very nervous. Right, you ready to go home, have a bone? Some pretty excited hounds. The freezer is slowly being replenished. There's the first items. Let's go.